What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Trainer Josh here, bringing you my Week 6 GPC match versus Schady. Really well known in the Pokemon community when it comes to battling, and by battling I mean counter team. And yeah, I'm pretty scared to face him. The last time I faced him, it was in the TTM 20, and that was pretty fun. I kind of choked at the very end because I predicted him to predict my Vaporeon switching on an HP Ice from a Zoroark, and long story short, he OHKO'd my Gliscor, and I lost my only counter to Scizor, which coincidentally we have on our team now. Except his was normal, ours is Mega, but that's not the point. As we do face Schady this week, and pretty scary opponent. Really well known for winning championships. I'm pretty sure he's won championships. I don't know where, but I'm sure he has. And pretty much known for being really good throughout the community. I've been subbed to him for not too long, but for a good while. I've been subbed to him for about a few months, I'd have to say. And I've been watching his I think he's in the TBU. No, he was not in the TBU. Well, I've been watching some of his vids that he posted, and pretty good, pretty entertaining, really good analysis. He has a very good thought process when it comes to winning games and playing his opponents. And that's what makes him so good. He's able to lock into the minds of your opponent. He's able to lock into the minds of his opponent, and he's able to like outplay him little by little. And I'm basically trying to wait for my Google Doc to open, but it's not opening for some reason, as it has now opened, and that's great. So yeah, we'll go over his team real quick, but as you can see, my team is the same as always. We have chosen to not make any free agent transactions because I just feel like my team, even though I don't have a lot of Pokemon, there's really not a lot of exchange I can make to fit what I wanted when I started my draft. So we still have the same 9 Pokemon. Schady has 11 Pokemon on his team, actually, which is pretty threatening, but he has a lot of Pokemon that just don't make any sense for him to bring versus me, so it's pretty obvious that he's going to bring. Plus, he's had a pattern with his team when it comes to actually bringing Pokemon every week. So I have an idea of what he'll bring. And yeah, I'll wait for the Google Doc to open. So yeah, I'm going to pause real quick and I'll be right back. And we are back, and as you can see, his team is right next to ours. And I should probably touch why I didn't upload my Week 5 match. Well, it's not because spoilers, I lost, but it's not because of that. It's because I didn't have a lot of time. I was working on my Cornell notes when I came to my AP US history class, and as a result, time slipped out of my fingers throughout the entire week. I didn't really have time. I was normally just working on other things when it comes to like the ISCL or just school in general. So I'm going to talk to the leaders and ask if I need to upload it. I probably will upload it because it would probably be good to explain why the game went down as it was. But anyways, that'll be later on most likely, like after this match. So yes, my Week 5 match will be posted after my Week 6 match. It's kind of weird, but due to circumstance, it's just going to have to be what it is. And anyways, as you can see, his team is the one about 2 spaces to the left away from me. And his team is Jirachi, Salamence, Keldeo, Mega Diancie, Golurk, Miltank, Amoonguss, Skuntank, Ludicolo, Frostblast, and Torkoal. Something I have to note, he's been bringing Golurk and Skuntank to quite a bit of matches, to the point where it actually surprises me, because normally you bring, well, Golurk I can see because it's a pretty reliable Stealth Rock lead, but Skuntank, it's not always the most reliable, but it's a pretty good, I guess, wall-like Psychic types. But my Psychic type kind of, I guess it can deal with my Psychic type in theory. But anyways, his team, yeah, it's pretty scary. I don't know why he has -1 points. I guess that's allowed, but whatever. And yeah, he has an Amoonguss. It's pretty scary because my Grass type is, weak to poison, and that's not good. Jirachi, just threatening. It could be bulky with rocks. It could be Scarf with Iron Head and Heart Stamp. It can be, you can also just like Specs Keldeo. I don't have a really good check to Specs Keldeo, honestly. And Ments could be scary, just being Scarf or like DD, or just mixed offensive, bulky with Toxic for like, I don't know, something. It's a pretty scary Pokemon overall. And then he has Miltank, which can surprisingly wall my team reasonably well, especially the Mega Scizor. But unless I'm like SD Superpower, which I'm not going to bring, so there you go. And Manaphy, well, I'll go over to like my team later on, but yeah, As you can see, it seems pretty scary, but just right off the bat, I'm pretty sure he won't bring Torkoal. He won't bring Frostblast because I have a Piloswine. He won't bring. Well, pretty much I ruled out those 2 Pokemon, and then the other 9 I guess were questionable. I can see Ludicolo coming as like an Assault Vest user, so I can counter my Manaphy, because I'm pretty sure, unless I have like HP Flying, I'm pretty sure it actually does not get to a kill by any move I can go for against it. That would be super effective at least. And yeah, anyways, let's just go over the team. My first Pokemon, as you can see, is my Young Swine. This is pretty much my counter to Mega Diancie, but as it comes to actual switch-ins, quote-unquote, and it's thick fat, so I can take HP Fire if I predict like a fire move on my Scizor, because surprisingly, these 2 Pokemon, they come in hand when it comes to fire type attacks. You would think that would be like Arcanine or something, but no, Piloswine has been the one that's been doing that job. And I'm just running Max Spadef because he doesn't have a lot of good physical attackers on his team. His only good one is Mence, who I kind of scare out with Ice Shard, which as you can see I don't have. I have Toxic for Miltank because I wanted something to at least touch Miltank, not just it beating me 1v1. I mean, it probably can, but at least I can pressure it to go for a Heal Bell if it does have it. So I just felt like Toxic was more reliable. Plus I could Toxic other things on his team, such as, you know, I guess Toxic, well, not much else. Everything else I'd rather hit. But, I mean, if he brings Torkoal for some reason, I can Toxic Torkoal, even though you know what, that's not the point. Toxic is mainly for Miltank, and I felt like just having that for Miltank was great because if it forces me to at least go for Toxic, and if I have to take the pair on something, it could be on Piloswine if he does choose to get it on my Piloswine with the Body Slam. And, you know, my Stealth Rock user, if his Mega Diancie isn't let off. I mean, what's good about this is that it forces out Mega Diancie, so I easily get Stealth Rock out versus it, unless he predicts it, which if he does, touche. And, you know, it's Piloswine, it's pretty good. Next is a pretty interesting set. It's actually kind of questionable to the point where I even questioned it when the battle happened. Leaf Blade, Return, Sword Dance substitute. Originally it was Stone Edge, but I wanted something that can at least, 1, have more PP, and 2, be 100% accurate. But Stone Edge is mainly so I can hit Mungus and Salamence super effectively, but Return I guess can be just as well. I have enough HP so my sub doesn't get broken by a Clear Smog. If you bring Sludge Bomb, then he can always break my sub no matter what, even if I'm like max, I'm pretty sure, with like Spadef and HP. And, you know, if he only does have Clear Smog, then I actually set up on a Mungus, and that would be fantastic. And I would just beat a 1v1, and then I could just beat his team, because I outspeed everything on his team except Mega Diancie and the, the Keldeo, which are speed type, which is why I'm running max speed. And if he does bring Mega Diancie, I'd predict a substitute, or I'd predict a Protect, and I'd probably go for sub, and then I'd pretty much win the game from there. But as you can see, it's a pretty weird set. I can't touch Jirachi reasonably well, but I do have an Arcanine which reasonably walls Jirachi reasonably well. I don't know why I said reasonably twice, but that's not the point. I'm wasting a lot of time with this team builder, and I'm sorry. My next Pokemon is my Mega Scizor. It's pretty specially bulky this week, and I might as well just turn it into Mega Scizor so I can show you the defenses. Scizor Mega. And yeah, let's just click save real quick. And as you can see, your Spadef is pretty good. Max HP, so I can take hits reasonably well. This is so I can take moves such as HP Fire from Ludicolo reasonably well. But if he's in the rain, he probably won't run HP Fire, he'll run Hydro Pump, which even in that case, I live reasonably well. It's also good for a potential Fire Blast from Skuntank. I'm pretty sure I live 1 hit, and you know, from full at least. And I can take hits from Keldeo, not an HP Fire, but I can take anything else from Keldeo. And if he's like choice up, that's the replay. And if he goes for like HP Fire and his Scarf, it's good for, I don't know, something. But I'd scout for HP Fire. I'm just rambling. I'm so bad at this, but then again, I'm just trying to prove myself. So there you go. Anyways, what else? It's Mega Scizor is also good for a Mungus, I guess. Actually, no. What am I saying? It's not. Let me start all over, guys. I'm sorry. I just wasted a minute trying to explain this set. It's a Spadef bulky set with the Fog, because for one, it forces out Mega Diancie, which is why I brought this. The fog is cool because if the fog's on something that would start rocks versus me, I'm so bad. But yeah, the fog's on Jirachi reasonably well unless he has Fire Punch or HP Fire. Either or would be just as good because I live either one. Unless he has like Choice Banner specs on the side, and even then I'm pretty sure I live with Choice Specs HP Fire. And Roost is for longevity. U-turn is for pivot. Bullet Punch is for Mega Dynasty, and it also hits reasonably hard with my 156 special attack investment, not special attack. I could have put it into defense, but I haven't really been using its attack reasonably well. The only time I actually used it, the only time I actually ran a lot of attack was like week 1, I think. So I'm gonna try max attack, see what happens. Next is my face when I see Stall, the Togekiss. Mixed defense this week, so I can take on Mence reasonably well. And as you can see on his team, Togekiss also kind of handles the Miltank as long as I don't get paired, and even then I have Heal Bell for that very reason. Otherwise, I would have had like Flamethrower for Jirachi. But with Thunder Wave, I can Thunder Wave Jirachi. I can Thunder Wave Keldeo reasonably easily. Oh my god, I can Thunder Wave Keldeo pretty easily, and I can also take a hit from Skuntank and Thunder Wave that. I can Thunder Wave his not his Mega Dynasty, but I can Thunder Wave Keldeo, which I already mentioned. I can Thunder Wave Solomons if I think he isn't Lum, or if he shows like a Life Orb or something, or Leftovers, something of that sort. And Air Slash is pretty cool for like flinching if it comes down to it, even though if 1v1 I cannot beat Jirachi with Air Slash because it recovers more than I can actually deal, and that's not good. But I hope that actually doesn't come down to it. If it does, then I'd probably just forfeit right then and there. And it's pretty much Jirachi this week. I mean, not Jirachi, Togekiss. I probably would have ran Toxic over Heal Bell, or even Flamethrower. It was between those two moves, but I decided to go with Heal Bell. It's pretty good for if I get burned on like Verzion or Scizor or Manaphy, I guess, because I'm not Rain Dance Manaphy. That'd be pretty good. Next Pokemon is my Arcanine, because it kind of deals with Skuntank reasonably well if he does bring it, and not to mention it deals with Mence. Even if he is max special attack Hydro Pump, I live 1 hit, and I can scout for that. And it's also pretty good for not goal work, but it also pretty much pressures out a Moongus no matter what, because Flare Blitz is just doing 1,000,000. And HP Steel, I brought HP Steel into the match, but it does get Iron Head and Iron Tail if I really wanted to be ballsy. I don't know. It was like 10 o'clock p.m. when I made this team. Schady was already asleep. We promised to battle on Saturday, which it is Saturday while I record this. And I could have easily ran HP Steel, which actually just O-coded it, while it Power Steel. And even if Bish Nature does a lot, but it does not come anywhere close to O-coding. I'm really bad. I don't know why. I don't know why I ran HP Steel, but I was so tired that I just wanted a Steel coverage move for Mega Dynasty, and it just happened to be HP Steel. It could have been Iron Head, but that's what happens when you wait till Friday to prep. But I mean, that's not my fault. I was kind of busy as well. Like I mentioned, I've been busy all week. It's crazy. Anyways, my next Pokemon is my Max HP, Max Speed Manaphy. With Tail Glow, I just murder a lot of stuff on his team, unless he has like an AV Ludicolo, which with this moveset doesn't KO it with anything. Even at +3. And if I get to +3, I Oko Keldeo with Energy Ball, and even without investment whatsoever. Skull will do 1,000,000 to a Jirachi even if he is Spadef. Miltank will just get murdered. Ludicolo, not Ludicolo, Amoonguss, it won't get murdered by Ice Beam, but it'll do a lot. And if he's taking prior damage, it will die, and that's great. I almost ran Sub, but I felt like Sub wasn't even worth it because he could just Giga Drain me. And if I try to like predict the Spore while he clicks Giga Drain, that would be bad. Even though it would be pretty obvious when he would click Spore, but that's not the point. I don't want to have to play those games. And as a result, I just ran a 3 attacks, Tail Glow, Max Speed, Bulky Manaphy. And that's pretty much the team this week. And let's just get on to the replay, which I've already clicked on twice already. And as you can see, I don't know what. I need to switch sides afterwards. But as you can see on his side, he brought the Ludicolo, which I expected to be the Assault Vest set, like I mentioned. Skuntank for, I'm going to guess Fire Blast for Mega Scizor. And he could also, he can run full special if he wanted to, but I'm going to expect like just a mix set. Mega Dynasty, because Mega Dynasty is pretty good versus my team. I mean, it gets stopped reasonably easily. Oh my god. It gets stopped pretty easily, but it can do a lot of work to my team once I lose Pokemon such as Pilot Slime. Mence, because it's good. Keldeo because it's good versus my team in general, and Jirachi because it's great overall. Best Pokemon in existence, obviously. And as you can see, I kind of figured he would lead with like Jirachi to get his rocks up. So I'm gonna go with my. Do I lead with my Mega Scizor? Oh man, this is really lagging. Oh god. Oh god. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna pause this and I'm gonna see if I can make this not lag as bad. So I'll be right back. And we are back. I just played it and it was working reasonably. It was working pretty well. So yeah, we'll just start the match. But actually, my food's ready, so I gotta probably get that out pretty soon. I won't pause right now, but I'll pause in like 5 minutes. And yeah, I kind of predicted him to lead with his rocker. So I figured Jirachi would be that lead, but as you can see, it wasn't. And even if it was Jirachi, I'd scout for Fire Punch and go into Paloswine and then go for rocks. But at this point, I need to find out what kind of Keldeo he is. I'm gonna go into my Verzion. If he burns me, I can just go into my Togekiss after scouting for the damage. And he goes for the Scald, and it does very, very little, which is why I decided to also run a lot of HP investment, because it takes water moves from Keldeo reasonably well, but it doesn't take Secret Swords well because it hits me on the defensive side, and base 72 defense is not good at all. And anyways, as you can see, Skull does little, very little. Proves to me he is not Specs. I don't think he's a water boosting item like Mystic Water or anything like that, so I don't know what kind of set he is. As he is going to switch here, as I try to predict him to go into, like, I think I predicted him to go into, I don't even know. Oh my gosh, I think I predicted him to go into like Ments. So I go into my Togekiss, and at this point I'm going to predict him to predict my Scarf Togekiss, which I'm not. And I'm going to go for T-Wave. He doesn't have a ground type in his team. He didn't bring his Golden, thank god. So I can just go for Thunder Wave. He has no immunity as of now because Mega Dancey is not Mega Evolved. I was kind of hoping he would go into Mega Dancey, but it just goes into the Jirachi because he's probably Spadef, and it's a pretty good wall to Togekiss. And I officially para the Jirachi. And that's all fine and dandy. Go to my calc and I find out Air Slash does 0. So I'm just going to go into my Paloswine. It's a pretty good check. If he goes for Iron Head, so be it. I can eat it reasonably well. I outspeed him right now, so it's okay. We're all fine. As he actually drops a Toxic right now, which is okay, because I have Heal Bell on my Togekiss. It just pressures me to go for it early. And, that kind of sucks, but it's okay, because I pretty much get free rocks up. I guess you can call it free rocks. I'm going to end up having to take 12% right now. As he actually goes into he goes into his Keldeo, which is 100% fine. Oh shoot, I'm lagging again. Please don't do this to me. Don't do this to me, Showdown. Okay. At this point, I know he's not very specially attack invested, so I'm going to go into my Togekiss. I'm going to predict him to not, go for like an Icy Wind or something. And even if he does go for Icy Wind, Togekiss eats that reasonably well. As I go into my Togekiss, as he is going to go for the Scald. If he burns me, so be it. I can just Heal Bell off, and I mean, it doesn't burn me, so that's good. And yeah, I'm gonna pause because for one, my food's burning, and two, this is really lagging, so I'm gonna try to fix that again. So yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, let's hope we're fine now. Anyways, he doesn't get the burn, so I'm just gonna go for Heal Bell here because there's literally no reason to not click Heal Bell. If he stays in and goes for Scald, if he burns me, I would just wear off immediately. So that's fine. I'm just gonna put this on normal speed because I don't want it to be too slow. At this point, I'm just gonna drop in my Piloswine again, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, as you can see, it's still lagging. But no, I go to my Scizor because I lied. I predicted Toxic, and Scizor takes that reasonably well. I felt like he wasn't gonna go for a fire move there. So yeah, that was pretty good on my part. So at this point, I'm just gonna fire off a free U-turn because I outspeed. I can find out this thing's spread, and yeah, this is really bad. I'm so sorry. As I go for U-turn, and he's not very defensive invested, so I'm gonna just further prove that he is Spadef. As he goes for Fire Punch here, predicting me to stay in, I'm gonna guess. And since I'm thick fat, not even defensive invested, it does absolutely nothing, so that's fine. As at this point, I feel like he isn't gonna make a ballsy play and go into Ments, so I'm just gonna fire off an EQ. If he goes into the Ludicolo, so be it. I get to fire off a free EQ. Oh god. Oh yeah. My iPod's charging. Might plug it. As yeah. I did 39% with a non-invested EQ, which is all fine and dandy, and he's not leftovers, which is huge. That is something to note, as yeah. Both forces come back into the field, as yeah, he's not leftovers, meaning he isn't a reliable switch into Paloswine. And I mean, he can easily take an Earthquake plus Ice Shard if I had it, which I don't, obviously. And at this point, I just have to hope my T-Mobile doesn't get burned, and if it does get burned, it just forces me to go for a heal bell. As he goes for a Scald, and yeah, he doesn't burn me. And at this point, I predict him to switch, not wanting to die to this Leaf Blade because he will die. And I'm going to go for Sub, because Sub is a pretty cool play. As he's going to go into Advance, as he's going to drop me down to -1. But after the Sub, I will be able to go to +2, because I outspeed him. If he outspeeds me here, I will know he is Scarf, and that will be good, because I can just do further instruction from there. As he goes for the Dragon Claw, he is actually Life Orb, which is pretty cool. And I go to my calc, return does not do any, it doesn't come anywhere near killing, and I can't risk this Dragon Claw. But then I realized Ruzion does get Stone Edge, like I mentioned in the Team Builder, and in the battle I was thinking he might switch fearing the Stone Edge, and at this point I'm actually going to click Sub, and worst case scenario he stays in, and he actually switches fearing my Stone Edge, which was fantastic, because I kind of predicted that. If I could have also gone for I could have gone for Leaf for Sword Sense again, but I decided not to. As now it's just time to try to whittle. It's time to try to whittle down this Jirachi, as I'm pretty much hoping for a pair, which I actually get, which I apologize for. But then again, why else do we run T-Wave? It's not for speed control, am I right? And I go for Leaf Blade again, get a crit this time, but I don't get a para, which is pretty weird. Like a crit did 29%, but a normal one did 23. I mean, that's honestly a really weird damage roll. But whatever, as I'm not gonna go for another crit. But I am going to go for a Sub and hope for another para, because I am a bad player, and he doesn't get parried. So at this point, there's no need to sack my Virizion. It's still good later on, potentially. As I'm going to go into my Arcanine, because I'm pretty sure he's going to click a fire move here. And even if he did click like an electric move or something, I would be okay. At this point, I figured he won't try to do any funny switches, just sack this thing, and he does, as that's fine. So Flame Dog 3 picking up his I'm not sure if this is his first kill of the season, but he doesn't have a lot of kills. Anyways, at this point I kind of figured he was gonna either 1-click Hydro Pump or 2-click Earthquake. Either or was not gonna kill me. And if he was naive, or Hydro Pump would do a little bit under 80%. If he was a plus special attack nature, it would be the opposite. And yeah, he goes for a Hydro Pump and does like 83%, meaning he is a plus special attack nature. And that's good to know, because I was scouting for that. I want to see what his spread was, as now I find out he's very invested in the special attack. Actually, no, yeah, he can be very invested in the special. No, even then, I calc max special attack of Naive Nature, and it does not do anywhere near 80%. So there you go. Then he goes for Hydro Pump, and it does 16% to my Manaphy. It is a speed tie here. If I win the speed tie, I don't lose a lot of HP. But as you can see, I do lose the speed tie, which is, I mean, that's okay. It's a 50-50. And yeah. That's fine. I do kill the Salamence. Manaphy picks up his first kill of the season, I think. As you know, that kind of sucks, as he is going to go into Juan. At this point, I kind of figured he was the Assault Vest set, like I mentioned. So I'm going to go into something that can kind of stop the Assault Vest set, which is my Virizion. And you know, if he went for Ice Beam, touche, but he goes for Rain Dance. And this kind of freaked me out, because I didn't expect Rain Dance on. I didn't expect the Rain Dance to Ludicolo. I just kind of didn't. But looking at my team, it kind of does a good amount of work versus my team, so I'm like, you know what, I could see why you would try it. Not bad, I can respect it. And at this point, I'm gonna try to play with him for a little bit. I'm gonna go into my Manaphy predicting the Ice Beam, as he does indeed go for the Ice Beam. And at this point, I'm just gonna go into my Virizion here, predicting the Giga Drain. And you know, I don't really, if he clicks double Ice Beam, that would be, like I said, a good play at this part. And as you can see, he goes for Hydro Pump here, and that does a million, because that's in the rain. And even with my max like 200 HP, I don't take that well at all. As at this point, I'm just gonna stack my Virizion, because if I go on a Manaphy, I know it's gonna take a million from Hydro Pump, and it could be good for later on for like Mega Dancey. And at this point, I'm going to go into my face when I see a stall, because I can T-Wave it. It cannot kill me with anything unless it crits me, which he does not, which is fantastic. And I am gonna T-Wave from here. And right now we're looking really good, because this is pretty much useless versus my entire team, because it actually dies to everything on my team, I'm pretty sure. As I'm just going to go for Roost to try to get as much HP as possible. If he goes for Ice Beam, it'll be weakened. As he actually does risk the Hydro Pump, and he does hit it through the Paralysis, which is fine. As I'm going to go for Roost again, and he does predict that reasonably well. As he's going to go into his, at least the Mega Dancey. And this is the part where I actually, I need to explain something here. Throughout this entire game, I was thinking I could paralyze this whole team, right? Because his Mega Dancey was not Mega'd. And I was still thinking, and I was thinking, I'm gonna just pair this Mega Dancy as if it was a double. But no, he swapped it in. I wasn't really thinking because I was really quick. I clicked in like 5 seconds, and he does. I mean, he's gonna Mega Evolve obviously because one, he had to Mega first turn, and I'm gonna get paired. And not only am I gonna get paired, he's gonna set up a free sub versus me, and you know this is not good. This is not good at all because not only am I paired, which actually bounces Drew to sub. I'm not gonna lie, I did not know that. Well, you know. But yeah, now I'm paired, which is bad, and this is another bad play. I shouldn't try to heal ball here because I need the HP. I mean, if I get paired, so be it. But I mean, I was gonna take a million from Diamond Storm, and I'd have a better chance of winning if I didn't try to click heal ball. That was the result. I'm at 19%. I can't eat anything from anything at this point, unless it's like Secret Sword from a Scarf Keldeo, which I'm kind of thinking he is at this point. And you know, at this point, I'm really joking. And to make matters worse, I'm gonna make another weird switch. I'm gonna go into my Manaphy, I sack Manaphy for. I mean, no, Manaphy was the sack, but the Togekiss sack was not. That was not a good play. That was the worst play I could have made. Now I'm gonna go into my Piloswine because it eats any 2 hits. He goes for Moonblast over Diamond Storm. I don't know which would have done more. It depends on the spread because I'm not defensive invested at all. As I do a very slow Earthquake because this is lagging a lot. As he's gonna switch, and he's gonna go into his Ludicolo because he doesn't want to sack Mega Dancy just yet. I can see why, because they could come down to some 50-50s in the future. As I do outspeed this Ludicolo while it's paralyzed, and Piloswine will pick up a kill this week, which is fine. As now he's gonna go into his Keldeo, which I just have to sack this thing to. And at this point, looking at my team, I actually lose to Keldeo if I get burned on my Mega Scizor. And I didn't think about that because I let my Togekiss get really weakened. And that's bad. If I wouldn't have let my Togekiss go down to 19%, I can just... In fact, I could probably just heal belt on this thing, and if he were to swap into his Mega Dancy, I mean, that would be bad, you know? But either or, I put myself in a really bad spot that I shouldn't be in. And so at this point, I have to play on not getting burned by a Scald. Here comes the first Scald, and he will not burn me. He won't burn me, that's 1 out of 2 I need to not get burned on. As I go for U-turn, that does absolutely nothing. And I'm going to go into my Togekiss. The last Skull did 28%. I'm at 25. I'm pretty sure I'm going to die here. So that was kind of the point of saying that Togekiss, because Arcanine is good for something you'll see later on. As Mega Scizor, it's going to come in. This is where Skull 2 out of 2 needs to not burn me. It's a 30% chance, but it might as well be 50 or something like that, because it burns. Scald burns. That's why you run Scald. So good, especially when it's stab, and especially when you have base 129 special attack. But that's not the point. I need to hit 2 bullet punches, not get burned, and we'll be in a good spot. I go for bullet punch, it does 19%. This is pretty much the game if it comes down to it, because the game's not over yet, even if I don't get burned, and I don't get burned. He has not gotten a single burn in this entire game, and I felt really bad about that. Not gonna lie, I really did. And yeah, he took a long time to make this play, because I'm gonna guess he was trying to think what would happen if I didn't get the burn, which obviously happened. And at this point, he goes into his Skuntank, and I wanted to click Roost predicting Sucker, but he knows Sucker Punch does not kill me from that range, so he's going for Fire Blast if he has it, and he indeed does have Fire Blast, and yeah, you know, that'll do very negligible damage. Oh gosh. Anyways, let me explain these set of plays that are gonna happen. I'm going to click HP Steal here, and this is why. If he stays in here on my HP Steal, so be it, but I don't think that's his play, because for one, I can easily go for 1 Willow, which if he goes into Mega Dance, he bounces off and doesn't happen, and then he can just set up a free sub in theory and win the game. Or, you know, I can go for Flare Blitz, and according to my calc, no HP investment whatsoever. If I'm with Stab, Flare Blitz does nothing. It does absolutely 0. Then he set up a free sub, and I think he would win. And I can't let that happen. I can't. And I do have HP Steal, so I can avoid him setting up a sub. But if you were to just click Diamond Storm instead of clicking a sub, you know, that would be bad, because he would win the game at that point. Because Skuntank would be able to kill me before I kill it, unless he missed a Fire Blast. And, you know, this is pretty much what came down to the game. This is what I was thinking. And at this point, I'm going to click HP Steal. If he switches into Mega Dancy on his HP Steal, I win the game. It's, like, guaranteed. As he will switch. his Skuntank, as you see, and he will go into his Mega Dancy as I click the HP Steel, which it looks pretty cool, but I should have been running Ironhead, not HP Steel. I'm so bad. I shouldn't even. I mean, I can't believe I'm in the GPC, let alone winning in the GPC with HP Steel Arcanines. That's crazy, dude. At this point, I'm just gonna click Flare Blitz. The only way he can win is if he kills my Arcanine, then crits my Mega Scissor with a Sucker Punch. As he goes for Poison Jab, gets a crit, but not a poison, which is fantastic. And at this point, I was predicting the Sucker Punch, but Schady, being the good player that he is, predicts my Morning Sun, predicting the Sucker Punch, and he's gonna go for another Poison Jab because he needs a. Actually, no. Clicks Pursuit. I'm gonna guess predicting the Switch, predicting the Sucker. It was a pretty interesting play. And at this point, even if he crits the Sucker Punch, I win the game. As he goes for the Sucker Punch and does 28%, does absolutely nothing. As Flare Blitz is just going to easily kill the Skuntank. Aftermath is going to actually kill me with the recoil, which was actually kind of unfortunate. I didn't actually calc HP Steel, but I wasn't going to try to win with HP Steel, because I could have still lost if it didn't kill. So, you know, that's the game. GG to Schady, really good game. I mean, it's hacked to not get skulled after, like, he said 7 skulls you went for. That sucks. It really does. I felt bad about that, and I hope, like, I mean, it's good for us because we're 4-2. It avoids us from having a 3-game losing streak, because that was what we were at. We lost to Makati after choking. We straight up choked versus Makati. I mean, that was my fault. I mean, I didn't calc Adamant Fire Punch. If I would have probably won the game unless he like crit burned me, or just crit or burned me, one or the other. But that's not the point. I choked versus that game, and then last week, which I will post a video of. I mean, pretty much the summary of the game was I didn't have the matchup, and he played the game perfectly. That was pretty much what happened. I couldn't really do much about it. I'm going to straight up say that. I couldn't do much about it because he straight up outplayed me and he had the better matchup. That's it. And, you know, winning this game means that we're not 3-3, and we still have a chance for playoffs. That's amazing. That's fantastic. I want to make playoffs, especially on our first season. If we make playoffs, I've been known for at least having a run in the playoffs, and when I make it at least. So, you know, if I make playoffs, that'd be fantastic. I would love it. That'd be great. But we still have a long ways to go. Still going to be busy. I can't guarantee when I'll be able to battle, when I'll be able to upload. And hopefully it doesn't avoid me from next season's appearance in the GPC, because I love the GPC. It's fun. I love everybody in it, and I hope to at least make playoffs. And you never know. If I make playoffs, I might win the championship. You never know, because, you know, I'm the underdog this season. That's pretty much how it goes. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna hit about the 33-minute mark. And yes, look out for my week 5 match. Hopefully it's good enough for the leaders of the GPC to say, okay, you're fine. Just make sure it doesn't happen again, you know, etc. So yeah, I'm gonna be up on out of here. So yeah, sorry about the lag. I don't know what that was. Normally my computer's better than that, but I guess I wanted to be a real dick this time, so it's okay. I don't know who I play next week, but we'll find out. So yeah, au revoir and peace.